Well, I have three personalities of the week. The first is Hamid Ali, who said that only lazy Nigerians are hungry. I think the man should be a little careful about, bastardizing Nigerians. Who said those who are hungry don't want to work? He doesn't have any evidence to say that. He shouldn't be saying things like that because there are so many Nigerians who have no work. He himself is from a patrician background and he has enjoyed life all these years. He was in retirement and somebody picked him to come and head the customs. So he's in a very high position and he's living with the high and mighty and the feathery life. But he should be careful not to bastardize ordinary Nigerians. It is not fair. My other personality of the week, Philip Roth, American man of letters, a novelist par excellence, who has won virtually every prize. Pulitzer Prize, National Book Awards, Critics Circle, Mount Booker International Prize. He has won all of them except Nobel Prize, for which he was perennially shortlisted and always a candidate to win, but they didn't give him. He didn't really need it. He was a man who periscoped the Jewish identity and wrote about man and the individuals in society dealing with a culture of repression. So, adios, Philip Roth. My third personality of the week is Barrister Femi Falana, has been on this show a couple of times, just turned 60. I'm just saying happy birthday and keep on the work of being an exponent of law for justice. The big talk is with Senator from Imo State, Ben Uwajumogu. He gave insight into the palace coup that snatched the soul of the APC in Imo State from Owele Rochas Okorocha. Very interesting conversation. Welcome to the Big Talk. My guest this week is none other than Senator Ben Uwajumogu from Imo State, one of the distinguished senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You're welcome to this show.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam.
Well, the drama in Imo State, especially with the World Congress, has rippled and roared all over the country. I want to ask you the question everybody is asking. What happened?
The truth was that the APC, the National Party, scheduled World Congresses for the 5th of May.
Yes.
In all the 36 states and the FCT. On that day, a day before then, I must say, we were made to understand that the governor of Imo State had requested that to swap the panel that was coming to Imo with that of the panel that was in Anambra State, because according to him, he didn't know who the panel members were. We accepted that swap with, with caution. However, in the morning of Saturday, the 5th of May, the governor sent a detachment of security people to go and pick up the panel in Anambra, while the party chairman also sent his vehicles to go and pick up the party chairman. When they got there, there was almost a shootout in Oka. The chairman of the panel and 3 other members insisted that they must follow the party vehicle as they had no arrangement that was planned for the governor to take them over. And eventually, the remaining 3 people were forced to enter the governor's vehicle to come to Owerri. And they were taken to Government House and detained. The same morning, the same governor now personally went to Protea Hotel where the panel that came in from that was now to go to Anambra State were having breakfast, and on its own abducted them, drove in a bus, and took them to government house, and they kept them there till very late in the day, almost like 1 p.m. And all of this was in a bid to collect the result sheets that was meant for the elections. He kept on asking them for where the result sheets were, you know. So the entire drama started by the abduction of the panel that was to conduct these congresses, you know, and all this was done by the governor because he wanted the result sheets. And eventually, the panel that eventually came to Owerri reported to the party office, where the party office, we had a stakeholders meeting. Yeah. We now escorted, all of us went to the police station to go and report to the police because thugs were brought in by the government to terrorize us. Over 200 thugs, you know, terrorized us at the police station, at the party headquarters. When we now got to the police station, you know, the commissioner of police, who eventually arrived, brought with him the panel that the governor had hijacked. And then, you know, they started detaining everybody. You know, the two panels demanding for the result sheets.
Result sheets.
It wasn't until they realized that congresses had started and that, you know, the result papers had been given to the electors that had gone to the various local governments to elect the party executive, that the governor now rushed to Senator Nasso's home, accusing him of keeping the result sheets. So the question everybody keeps asking is that, what business did the governor have to do with the result sheets of a Congress which he was not the panel that was to conduct it? He was not a member of the panel, the local panel that was chosen by the state party. Neither was he a member of the panel that was chosen by the national. So the long and short of it is that the elections held, it was peaceful, it was successful, and thousands of our, you know, supporters and members of the party came out and exercised their franchise, and we elected ward officials.
Now,
you know, who have in turn elected the local government officials. Yes.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing here is that it looked like there was a decoy. This whole drama appears that there was a decoy. The governor was pursuing something, and you guys acted as though you were playing games with him, whereas the real election and the real papers as the result sheets he was looking for were already in operation on the ground.
If you had realized that he wasn't the person to conduct the congresses, and that if you had realized that there were 7-member panel who were to conduct these congresses, maybe he wouldn't be in this situation. Maybe he would have known that elections were taking place.
Yeah.
You know. But then, even his own people participated in elections. We have videos from over 305 wards of the state, and these videos were played for the vice president, you know, and everybody who has seen these videos are convinced that elections took place.
Who played the vice president demand for the videos?
Yes, we did not only play for him, we also gave him the videos.
Why? Why did you do that?
And in some of the videos, you will see staff and commissioners of the governor and his aides conducting congresses.
So,
on the same day.
You know, when this thing happened, after this thing happened, the governor went to the president, went to the vice president, and so on. Was that the reason why he demanded the videos, to know what really happened?
Well, you know, the videos that were played, you know, of course, the governor being in control of the mass media in Imo State.
Yeah.
And then his own media, team manipulated the videos to appear as if, elections didn't take place. If you noticed, when Osita Isnaswa was being questioned, they only showed the last 1 minute clip where he was saying that if we don't find the materials, that the elections will be cancelled. But the fact that they didn't play what had transpired before then, and then voiced it over to make it look like the time in question was like 6 p.m., while the time in question was like 2 p.m. But the truth remains that because they were pursuing the result sheets, the other members of the panel who had been released by the governor addressed the stakeholders panel and the stakeholders meeting and released the
results,
the documents, the sensitive documents, the results sheet to, every local government accredited 3 people to come to the state, and they were eventually sent to the wards to go and conduct the ward congresses. So they all went with the result sheets, conducted them, and then returned. INEC certified the results. If you see INEC result, the INEC report on the matter, the summary is that 27 local governments conducted election. But elections took place at different times of the day.
305 wards.
Because of the confusion.
Now, the interesting thing
305 wards, yes. At least 27 local governments, 305 wards.
Yes. Now, the interesting thing is that the senators, including you, Izunazo, the deputy governor, and a number of stakeholders were in on it. How come the governor did not know that there was this, will I call it conspiracy or gang up or plot to undo his plans? How did it happen? How did he not see it?
There's a saying that when everybody is wrong and only you is right, then you should examine yourself or examine your process. When all the leaders of the party were talking about two former senators, and one is an organizing secretary of the APC, National Organizing Secretary, Senator Hope Uzodinma, who is a ranking senator who has just joined the APC, myself, who was a former speaker of Imo State House of Assembly, so many leaders or former commissioners, other leaders of the party, all of a sudden, we found the policies of the government as being very oppressive. I'm sure the press, you have been writing about all the policies of the government have been very inhuman. For example, you are aware that at some point in time, pensioners were asked to collect 40% of their outstanding pensions and then sign that they have collected the final, a waiver that they have collected their final salaries, that's pensions that was due to them. Or medical workers have not been paid for almost 4 years today. Salaries of civil servants have been paid, in the breach. Less than 70% of their salaries have been paid in the last 3 years. Despite the bailouts that have been collected by this government, so many people have been owed salaries and been owed, workers have been owed, or contractors have been owed, Meanwhile, the government is busy pulling down people's homes, pulling down to do what the project they call urban renewal, which nobody has ever seen that kind of urban renewal in this world. People's homes are being pulled down without any compensation paid to them whatsoever. More than 17 markets in rural areas have been, demolished without any market being rebuilt, and people have been put out of business. Sometime in December, about 3 or 4 markets were pulled down. Even in Oguwere Capital Territory, there's the place they call the New Market, where the traders begged the governor and said to give them opportunity to trade after Christmas holidays. They would themselves pull down the market for him. Now these markets have been pulled down, and as I'm talking to you, nothing has been done about rebuilding them. And you ask your question, what was the rush in pulling down this market? He came into government in 2011 with the strong support of artisans, the Okada people, the Keke people, the bus drivers, the workers, everybody supported him when he came in 2011. Today, as I'm talking to you, none of these people are supporting this administration. He has lost all the support that we garnered in 2011. I was a speaker of his house for 4 years. All the projects that we started have been abandoned. You can't find one completed project in Imo State, that makes any, economic sense or that has any regenerative capacity, And Imo State, as of today, is one of the lowest, or has one of the lowest IGR in the entire country. We should be so.
You're one of the very first people to really support this administration when it started. You, Izunazo, and co, you had great hopes for him. How did things turn around? And did you stop him? Did you try to caution him at the beginning?
We were so much on ground that during the elections that brought him into power in the second term, he won almost 22 local governments, And in 2015, after the elections, we expected that he would build on those positive, programs that he started. Eventually, he abandoned all those projects, and then started all these inhuman, policies that were tipping the people, generality of the people, against us as a party, And you don't need to go too far. And the worst part of it is his decision, to impose his son-in-law on the state, using state resources, using, all forms of arm twisting, And the son-in-law comes from the same zone like he comes from. He comes from the Olu Senatorial District, and Olu Senatorial District has already been in power in the last 20 years of democracy for 16 years. So his son-in-law, who comes from the same zone, is now being imposed on us, for him to now be our, candidate. And if he wins, he will run there for 8 years. And we're like, generality of our party men do not accept that. And he's doing this with so much impudence. If you do not accept or if you don't agree with him, then, you become enemy number one in the state. People are not even allowed to associate with you. If you are seen as a staff of the government or an aide to the government, even talking to me or visiting my house, you are sacked over the next day on the radio. That's what Imo State has become. In the over 40 years of Imo State existence, we've never had this kind of administration.
How did it get to acquire this, as you say, this kind of attitude? How did it get to this stage?
Well, they say, I really don't know, because I'm still surprised. I still find it, they say, he that the gods want to kill, they first make mad. But they also say that he that the mad want to kill, they first make God. So I think what we have here is a situation where he has taken his popularity for granted, and he thinks Imo people have become foolish and stupid. And that is the worst mistake any leader can make at any time. And, people like us who, came up with him, and worked with him, gained some fame, and political relevance, he gets it wrong because he believes that when you talk to the governor, it's like, these are the people I made this man speaker, I campaigned to make him senator, and then I'm supposed to accept whatever he dishes out. If people are not happy with him, I'm supposed to, accept it. I cannot stand up for the people that have elected me to be their senator just because I want to show that I'm grateful to the governor. So after I spoke to him, I personally went to him on several occasions, especially after the Cuckoo Market demolition. And I said to him, this matter, we must, do something to make people realize that we care about their feelings and all of that. So, when he rebuffed all our moves, we went as a group. He even refused to see us or grant us any audience. Most of us decided that this was not for us. We had to pull out. And that's the result of our pulling out.
So this tells the story of the parallel group becoming the main group. This is like a coup, because in the rest part of the country, we talked about parallel congresses, and the congresses were even seen as fringe organizations, not part of the mainstream. You seem now to have edged the governor into being a parallel body, even he didn't even have a Congress. So you guys have done something that has not been done before in Nigerian history. Are you aware of that? That a sitting governor...
Well, Sam, there was a Congress. The only thing that he lost the Congress. And again, politics, the essence of governance, a government exists when it has legitimacy. When the people that you govern recognize your legitimacy over them because they are doing what is right, because they are happy with you. This government has lost its legitimacy because the people are not happy with it. And you don't need to accept what I've said. Just do a cursory poll in Imo State, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I know that a lot of governors today are feeling that this has not been done and it must not be allowed to happen. I can tell you that any attempt by APC or anybody to reverse what has happened in Imo State will affect the entire Southeast. Because today, APC is like a rebirth of APC in the Southeast. People are now feeling more comfortable. They want to join APC. They now believe that APC is now the party to be beaten in Imo State and indeed the Southeast.
Is it not significant that the only state in the Southeast that you have APC is the state in which there is this kind of rupture? Does this bode well? Does it bode well for the APC? Because some people say, well, if APC is this turbulent, they probably will look the other way. The PDP was there before.
Well, there's no party that doesn't have its own issues. I mean, the major parties in the Southeast will be the PDP, the APC, the ABGA. All of them have issues, But, the truth is that because we are able to address ours, we're able to come out and say, this is wrong. In so many states, people are unable to oppose what the government do. But this is a democracy. That's what democracy is all about. Some of us, have personally put our political ambitions on the line to say, we must challenge what is happening, not because, not because it's uncommon to find politicians who are ready to challenge their governors, when they feel that things are not being done properly. I want to challenge you, Sam, please. I want you to find out who in the Southeast, which strong, substantive, relevant politician has joined APC in the last 3 years because of the governor of Imo State. How many people has he brought as a governor? How many of these, there are 5 states in the Southeast. None of the governors has even thought about coming to the APC. Those who would want to come to the APC are so scared of coming to the APC because of dominance of the governor. So these are the questions we need to ask. I mean, if somebody has been in power for so long, there must be, milestones that the person has achieved. How many times has the vice president or the president or anybody come to Imo State to come and commission one project or the other? The only things that we've commissioned in Imo State, in Nigeria we have very short memory. Not too long ago, we were just commissioning statues of, presidents of other countries. Not too long ago. And this was in Imo State. Not too long ago, we were celebrating 30 days of a governor. Bad day. After that, bad days of his wife for 15 days. You know, if this is not like a Nero, tell me what Rome looked like during Nero's period. This is what Imo State has become. You know?
Well, that's an interesting thing for you to say. But I still want to ask, some people feel that it is not really the reason that you guys went to upturn the governor's wishes. That the main reason is not because he did bad, but that he wanted to impose his son-in-law as governor, and that you guys have a different idea of who should be the governor or the governorship candidate in the next round of elections.
Well, you know, the government has chosen to find reasons why they think we are working against them. Of course, you know, me personally, I told the governor, you know, straightforward to his face that I will not support his son-in-law running for governor. You know, we have also considered that he has every right to support whoever he wants to support, including his son-in-law. But when you now, you know, use your powers of political coercion to coerce 27 local governments, you know, in the state to come hire motley crowds and come to the government house, you know, and come to say they have come to endorse your son-in-law, somebody who, as of 2011, was an applicant for government work in 2011, and then you're endorsing him to be governor, you know, and then you are now ensuring that all those who are not supporting him, you know, are, you know, threatened with removal from office. Sam, I can tell you that today we have 27 local governments in Imo State, 25 chairmen of the houses of the party. No, 25 chairmen of the party in 25 local governments are not supporting the governor. They are all with us in this fight. The party chairman in the state, the deputy chairman of the state, the other party executives, including the organizing secretary in the state, the national working committee chairman, that is the national organizing secretary, the senators in the state, the federal house members. Nobody is happy with what is happening in the state. You know? So everybody cannot be right, and then you are the only wrong, and you are the only one who is right. You know, and I've said earlier that once everybody is wrong and you're the only one right, you should examine yourself to know if you know what you're doing. You know, the truth is that, you know, he has lost it. He has lost it, and he needs to. He probably, you know, there's this saying in Igbo. In Igbo, it says, meaning that if you didn't know where the rain started beating you, you would not even tell where you took shelter. You know, so that is important. And when you've lost grip and lost, you know, or touch with reality, that's what happens to you.
Yeah. Now, he has challenged the local government congresses, he challenged the state congresses, and so on. But you guys still went ahead to do them. What do you think will pan out in the end?
Well, you know, the world congresses have been accepted. The local government congresses have been accepted, and the appeal panels, you know, have already accepted in their report, has accepted the results of the two congresses. The state congress, we concluded the state congress on Saturday, even though he brought a bogus court order, you know, against the state congress. You know, the state congress held on the 19th, and the results have been accepted by the National Working Committee. And currently, the appeal, I don't know whether the appeal report has come in, and all these congresses were certified by INEC. You know, I don't know what else. You know, we're not asking. He has one more year left. You know, he has his time to finish as governor. You know, we're just saying and praying that the next governor of the state, whoever he will be, will know that you cannot run roughshod, you cannot play God over your own people. It doesn't work that way. You know, you've just been lucky, you know, for you to be a governor. You know, anybody can be governor, that is the truth. You know, but when you become governor, there are responsibilities that are attached to the office of governor. And that's the little that we expect you, you know, be observed by anybody who is lucky to occupy that exalted seat.
There are rumblings that he might move over to ABGA, and therefore he still probably has an opportunity to mount his son-in-law against whoever you project as the governorship candidate in APC. Have you guys walked around your minds this possibility?
Yes, we've seen that possibility, you know, and like I said, nobody can play God. I'm not God, and I cannot say that the son-in-law can never be governor. All we are saying that he will not be governor with our support. Maybe he can get it in ABGA. There are more than 68 parties available. We'll be willing to allow him go to any of those parties and try his luck. But I can tell you that Imo people, you know, if you look at the results of elections in the past in Imo State, you know, nobody in Imo State can, on his own, install a candidate as governor. It has never happened before, and it's not going to happen again. Even he was brought in by popular acclaim. You know, the man he replaced as governor, Hakim, did not commit as much, you know, heinous, well, I don't want to use the word crimes, but didn't commit as much terrible empires against the people as he has done. And then if Omar Hakim could not succeed himself, I don't see how he is going to be able to install his son-in-law. No, that will never happen.
All right, we'll be looking at what will happen in the months and year ahead. We've had with us Senator Ben Uwajumogu of, I call you Right Honorable because he used to be a speaker of the State House of Assembly in Imo State. Thank you very much for being with us, Senator Ben. Thank you for being a part of the program today. Don't forget that you can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @SamOmasheye. Also visit my website, www.samomasheye.com. And until next time, be good.